The most used skills I saw that the therapist used were her summarizing skills. She summarized a lot with the client throughout the whole session. And I think this brought more awareness to how the client was feeling and how he was coping, or how well he was or wasn't progressing with his wife's death. He made claims that, it's been 6 months, he should move on, he should, get past it. But at the same time, everybody grieves differently and everybody takes their own amount of time to grieve. But she summarized every time he talked about anything in regards to his day to day life or how he felt with his wife's passing and things of that nature. So I think this helped him better understand where he was in regards to moving on or coping with his wife's death. And I think as sessions go on, this was just the intake session, so he's not going to be fixed after today. But I think moving forward, if she keeps using that summarizing skill, that he will also realize any improvements he's made or setbacks he has or things of that nature. She also used a lot of nonverbal cues with her client. So I noticed that when he was talking about something, she would nod her head, and it was almost encouraging for him. Like, okay, she was basically saying, okay, I understand. I understand where you're coming from. It's a hard situation, losing the love of your life that you had been with since you had been a teenager. And I think this was encouraging to the client to get him to open up some more. And so in that, I think it also intensified their relationship because she was showing that she was supportive. She was there for him. She understood what he was going through. She might not have gone through a similar situation. We don't know that because she didn't talk about it. But she was being encouraging with those nonverbal cues, as well as letting him know that, okay, I'm here for you. You can talk about whatever you want. That's why we're here. And then some other ways that she intensified the relationship, she helped the client create goals. She said, it might be hard and you might not want to do it, but it's almost necessary to help this process and to help move forward past your wife's death. She said that maybe if he put a structure to every day, it would make every day easier, because he said there's some days he couldn't even get out of bed to go to work. Or there's some days he didn't get out of his pajamas, and he realized that he didn't know how to live life without his wife because she took care of everything at the house. She cooked, she paid the bills, she cleaned. And now he's pretty much lost without her. And so the therapist offered the client goal setting by creating a routine for every day to give some structure to every day. And she did mention that he might not want to do it some days, but it's what is necessary to get through every day. And I also noticed in the beginning that she told the client that she was glad that he was there, which I think could be encouraging for somebody in his situation, because it is an uncomfortable situation. It's new. They don't really know what to say. They don't know what to talk about. They don't know what they want to talk about. They just know that they need it, or they were pushed to go or pushed to talk to somebody. And so I think that is encouraging, and that could help him want to come back, is that she says that she's glad that he's there. And I also like the fact that she did a suicide assessment, because after being with somebody for so long that you love and then losing them, it can put people in a very dark, depressed place. So she did assess that. He said that he could never hurt himself, so I don't think he was high risk or anything like that. He does say there's days where he feels like that, not going on would just be easier than going on. But he says he could never seriously harm himself. So I don't think that he's at risk. He is taking the steps he needs to get help and to talk to somebody about his issues with his wife's passing. So I think that he's in a good place, and if there was a risk, that it is very low. And other than that, I think that those were the most important parts of that video. She did use, like I said, she used some skills that helped encourage the client, as well as helped him create goals, which intensified the relationship, and it built a relationship with the client. And it gives him incentive to come back, because then once he starts doing those goals or working towards those goals, he can come to therapy next week or however often they meet and be like, okay, yeah, this is what's happened. this is how close I am to the goal. We've made progress. We haven't made progress. And so it also gives him a sense of responsibility that he needs to report back in.